Okay, we're up in the air again over Orientation Island, and now we're going to fly back over to the mainland. As you'll see, it sort of emerges out of the fog, and sometimes it's not real clear where things are. We're going to go back over into the kind of community area where we started off. You notice that things kind of slowly come into view, depending on how much stuff is on the island and how many people are here. This so-called lag effect can sometimes be a little bit annoying, although this particular island it presently doesn't have any people on it except me and a couple of other folks working, a couple of people working on the island. So here we're going to drop down into the very center courtyard. And this would be a place, various parts of this courtyard would probably be used for some of the special events that are going to occur here on STA Travel. For instance, if a book publisher, or rather an author of a travel book, were to come and be available for a period of time to talk about the book, or perhaps a representative, maybe the Australian Tourism Board might hold a session here for an hour or 2 hours with any interested folks. Those would probably take place in this kind of forum. We'll just walk into one of these facilities. There are a number of different places here, each representing a different part of the world. And this particular one is a little cafe, a French cafe, and as you can see, there are chairs that we can sit down in. And here we're going to actually go over and take a look in the see what's cooking. Notice the music has come on here, appropriate French music, and you probably can't make it out, but if the screen were a little bigger, you would see that there's steam actually coming off those loaves of bread in the background. Looks rather tempting, and I do believe we even have a little bottle of French red wine there. Let's go into mouse view and have a little closer peek at that. Indeed, I think it is, yes. So the building itself, which is sort of hexagonal, I guess, in shape, has these little corner units, and each of the corner units represents essentially an airport. The overarching metaphor here is an airport that connects these various places. And it sounds like an airport, doesn't it? And you can see up over the next door it says Mexico City, and presumably if we go back here it ought to say Paris, France. In fact, it does. So these are really meant more for transition. Of course, there's a little advertising here for STA Travel. And I notice there's another door here. And this door is actually, I believe, says for China. So we can go in this area. And this is I think the Hall of the Great Illusions, which a variety of kind of exciting and interesting things are going to go on here, which I'm not yet quite familiar with exactly what those things are. And this, of course, if we went out this door, would take us back out into our central courtyard again, where we started. Or we could have gone through the connecting airport piece. I'm going to skip this next element for the time being. It's the STA primary travel office, which we'll come back to. And now we'll go to another site. This one presumably set in Mexico or somewhere in Central America. And it is also the media center. So each one of these particular places has some interesting purpose above and beyond being kind of a tourist destination or to show you the architecture. Oh my, quite scary. And here, let's see what this is all about. We'll just mouse in on this thing. So there's going to be some audio and video things that may be visible here. At present, I've got my own video and audio turned off, so we can't actually look at that at present. You'll have to come to the island yourself and explore it. And presumably these would be videos either highlighting interesting things that are going on in Second Life. I suppose conceivably interesting things going on in real life, and presumably videos that would be created by not folks working for STA Travel, but travelers themselves. And now we're going through, again, the little airport corner sections. And oops, I'm going to be skipping an event if I go that way, so instead I'm going to walk down here to this gate. And this is really meant to represent sort of Main Street USA. And what best to do in Main Street USA but to shop. And so here we have opportunities to acquire a variety of kinds of clothing. For instance, our avatar might be interested in acquiring one of these fine shirts. So we have the opportunity here to buy it. And we could conceivably wear it immediately if we clicked here, although I kind of like my suit, so I think I'll just buy it now. And now I've bought it, and it turned out I bought it for nothing. They're actually giving these things away. But you can see how easy it is to buy things, and it's almost equally easy to put things up for sale if you create them. So we've also got some little souvenirs. Actually, I kind of went by these. These are some kind of STA Travel shirts that would provide perhaps a little visibility for the island around Second Life. And these backpacks similarly, presumably have some STA advertising on there as well. So we'll just keep walking. And now we're going off into ancient Egypt. And let's see if we can find out what this is going to be all about. So this is what's called the submission kiosk. And this is where you actually can go and create objects in Second Life. Maybe they would be apparel or cars or what have you. And then you could submit them with this kiosk. And presumably the folks at STA Travel will be looking this over and deciding which ones that they actually would want to make available here, or at least display here. So again, really intended to develop the sense of community. And I think that probably is going to bring us back to Paris. Yeah, there's Paris.